Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sercoach Shows Off Pathfinder 2e. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the new doctrine I created for the Cleric class in Pathfinder 2e. For those of you who do not know, the Cleric currently has just two subclasses. There is the Cloistered Cleric, which focuses on the spells, and then there's the War-Priest Cleric that focuses on battles and a little bit of spells. They get basically the same number of spells, but they do not get legendary in their DC at the end of it. Now, what did I make? I made the Evangelist Doctrine. What does this one focus on? This one focuses on converting people to your god with either beating them up and doing it or healing them up and doing it. So it basically will be focusing on your font spells. Which, let's go ahead and take a look at those real quick, because otherwise this is not going to make a huge amount of sense looking at this subclass. So, what are the fonts that I'm talking about? Well, there's this divine font. And based off what god you are following, you'll either get healing font or harmful font. And what that means is you're going to get a number of spell slots equal to 1 plus your charisma modifier every day that are just going to be healing or harm based off whatever god you are following. If you're following a good god, you're stuck with healing fonts. If you're following an evil god, you're stuck with harmful fonts. If you're following a neutral god, it's your choice. But either way, you get that many extra spell slots for just those spells, heal or harm. Now, the Evangelist focuses on that fonts. So what do you get? First level, first doctrine. You become trained in light armor. That's better than the Cloistered, but not as good as the War Priest. You gain the Versatile Font Cleric feat, even if you don't meet the prereqs. So before I talked about how if you have a neutral god, you can have harm or heal. Versatile font means you can have both. So when you're preparing daily, you get to choose either to put into those slots. Usually this is restricted to a neutral god, not for this doctrine. Beyond this, you also get an additional font per day. So instead of having 1 plus your charisma modifier, you will now have 2 plus your charisma modifier. And then at 13th level, when you gain Divine Defense class feature, you also get expert proficiency in your light armor. Normally you'll just get expert proficiency in unarmed defense. Second doctrine, 3rd level. You gain the Harming Hands and Healing Hands cleric feats. What do those do? Well, they make it so instead of rolling d8s for harm and then d8s for heal, you're now using d10. Those are 1st level cleric feats. So you're getting 2 of them at 3rd level. Downside. The benefits only apply for your spells that are cast using the healing or harmful font. So if you cast heal or harm from your regular spell slots, doesn't help you at all. 3rd doctrine. Your proficiency ranks for reflex saves increases to expert. And then your proficiency rank with your font spell DCs increases to expert. What does this mean? Well, it means, you're better at reflexes. Great. But it also means that the DC for fighting off your font spells is 2 higher. So, normally it would be a case of, if you're just trained, it'll be your level plus 2 plus your relevant ability modifier. Now it'll be your level plus 4 versus your plus your ability modifier to determine your DC whenever you're trying to injure somebody with your fonts. If you're healing them, it doesn't matter. And there's no attack rolls for these, that's why it specifies just the DC. Now, at 11th level, you would normally gain lightning reflexes, which increases your reflex to expert. So instead you'll gain great fortitude, which will turn your fortitude into expert. No big difference there. 4th doctrine, at 11th level. Your proficiency ranks for divine spell attack rolls and spell DCs increases to expert. So now all your spells are at expert, including the fonts. You get another font per day, so now you're at 2, at this point 3 plus your charisma modifier. You gain expert proficiency with your DD's favorite weapon and unarmored attacks. And when you succeed with an attack roll with that particular weapon, you get the specialization effect, and you use your divine spell DC if necessary. Alright, 5th doctrine. Your spell DC for your fonts increases to master. And then you also get reflex is increased to master. And whenever one of your saves goes to master, when you succeed a reflex save, you now crit succeed instead. And then the final doctrine for the Evangelist is your proficiency ranks for your divine spell attacks increases to master. Great, that's the same level that War Priest gets to. But then your proficiency for your font spell DCs increases to legendary. So your fonts are going to be just as powerful, if not better, than the fonts from a cloistered cleric. Whereas your fighting capabilities is going to be better than theirs. Vice versa, your spells are going to be slightly better in the font-wise than a War Priest. But overall, you're going to be slightly weaker on the battlefield than they are. So this is a bit of a mixture of the two, but it really focuses on that font. So hopefully you found this interesting. If you do, the link will be down in the description to download this document, and you're free to use it whenever you feel like. And this is Sercoach, signing off.